Hello everyone, it is Bryan of Asante Capital, and over the next few minutes I wanted to talk about protecting yourself from fraud. A few weeks ago, I was sitting outside on the deck enjoying a nice summer evening when my phone rang with a 1-800 number. Like I seem to do a dozen times a day, I declined the unknown call. Then, surprisingly, the number popped up again. And I thought, maybe this was something relevant. Maybe this was important. I answered, and on the other end was an articulate man with a francophone accent. He claimed to be from my bank. He told me that there were some suspicious transactions in Montreal that he wanted to review. I told him that I didn't make those transactions and that I was in fact in Toronto. He projected competence, care, and he was gaining my trust. It felt like he was trying to help me. Then he needed to verify my credentials and wanted information. That changed everything. He called me. I didn't call him. So I declined and thanked him for his time. I immediately called my bank and they had no record of any suspicious transactions. Wow, these are sophisticated actors, I thought to myself. This episode reinforced the reality that we need to be diligent and protective in both our online and real lives. Today I wanted to review a half dozen suggestions to help keep you protected. Okay. Let's start with our online presence first. Double authentication. If you are offered the opportunity to enact double authentication, take it. This is where you enter your username and password, along with a code you receive by text message. I know, it's a pain at first, but this essentially brings your verification into both the digital space, meaning your username and password, and the physical space, meaning your phone. Even if they crack your password, it is unlikely that a hacker will have physical access to your phone. Strong passwords. The days of using password 123 as your password and then updating it to password 456, they're gone. Today you need robust passwords that contain letters, numbers, and symbols. A trick I learned was to create a silly little phrase that you could remember. Say, Reese's Pieces are the best to eat. So you could condense that to capital R, capital P, lowercase r, the best, number to eat. And then add your wedding year and an exclamation point at the end. Have a look at that. Now that's something more robust. Even better is to use a password manager. Personally and work-wise, we use a password manager called 1Password. It creates and stores wildly complex passwords like, well, have a look at this. And you don't need to remember them all. You create one master password which gives you access to all of them. A service like this costs about $5 a month. Whatever you do, please, 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 don't store your passwords in a file called passwords. Limit your public information on social media. When a bad actor is attempting to steal your identity, a central piece of information needed is your date of birth. And that may be openly available on social media. When you originally opened your Facebook account, you probably made your full birth date public. So please go into your settings and ensure that it is only visible to your friends. Even more, hide the year and only make the day and month visible. Also, make sure that your phone number and email are private or not visible publicly. Now, let's take a look at your physical dealings. Shred, shred, shred. Be sure to shred any sensitive documents and those with personal information on it. These include those seemingly innocuous letters that include your name and address. You never know where a bad actor might start. I know shredding can be a pain, especially if you have a home unit. Personally, I save all my shreddable documents over the course of the year. When do I bring them into the office? My cue is my tax return. Have a look. This is 2022. So when I get approval from CRA that my taxes have gone through, that's my cue to bring it in and I start all over again. Now, for you, our clients, please feel free to bring in your shreddables to your next meeting. That can be a bag like me or even a few boxes. It would be our pleasure. Be aware. Be sure to check your bank and credit card transactions routinely. And if an item appears off, call the financial institution. In my experience, the transaction is usually legitimate because I've forgotten about it or don't recognize the vendor's name. But if there is a problem, they generally resolve it quickly. It's definitely worth a 10-minute phone call to verify. Don't answer unknown callers. This is a straightforward one. Look at my example from the intro. It can be easy to get lured into a compromising conversation. Bottom line, if the call is important, they will leave a message. Similarly, you aren't obliged to answer your door. We've all grown up duty-bound to answer the door and greet visitors. But like the phone, we are not obliged. We are in our home. Check your peephole first. You don't need to have a conversation about a new internet plan or charitable donation if you don't want to. In fact, it is illegal in Ontario for someone to try and sell you a furnace, water heater, duct cleaning services, or something like that door to door. If you find yourself in an uncomfortable conversation, say that you appreciate their time, but you need to talk about it with your spouse, parent, adult child, or even neighbor. I'm sure you know someone or have experienced fraud or pushy sales tactics yourself. Unfortunately, it seems like a part of life. We all need to maintain a strong defense to protect ourselves. Let us know if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing you at our next meeting, along with a big bag of shreddables.